have just arrived in a gorgeous little cosy cottage in Wales, in the north of Wales, for the week, and I'll take you along with me. I'll give you a little tour of the cottage later, but you can see behind me it's gorgeous. And we're going to go to a restaurant called the Goat Inn for dinner.
That's lovely.
Okay, so we're back from dinner. It was really nice. I would recommend that restaurant if you're ever in the area. It's called the Goat Inn, and we're back at the cottage. It's quite a cold night, so we've got the fire lit. We've had somewhat of success in lighting it. I don't know how long it'll last, but it's very cozy. And now we're going to watch the rest of Lord of the Rings. Good morning. Welcome back to Wales. Today we're going to go to Porthmadog, I believe we pronounce it, and we're going to do a coastal walk. So I'm making up some sandwiches. Mark's on morning porridge, and it's going to be a good day. We've just made it to a beautiful little beach, and I thought I'd show you around a little bit. It's windy. It's beautiful here, all the mountains and the sea, and it's very peaceful. We've just come down from the main path and it's lovely. Yeah. What do you think, Mark?
It's very nice. Hungry for lunch.
Yeah, we made some sandwiches, but it is only like 11 AM, so I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. So we're back at the cottage, and We had a lovely day out. I'm sure I put some clips in of the coastal path that we did. It was lovely. We saw lots of amazing beaches, particularly the one at the end. I think it's called Black Rock Sands. It was beautiful. The tide was really far out though, and we tried to walk all the way to the water, but it was just too far. And then we had a little bit of an explore around Porthmadog. I think that's how you say it. Which was really nice. We went to a little bakery and then to a bookshop where I bought a blind date with a book. It's historical fiction. I really like the paper. I don't know if you can see. So I thought we would open it together. Yeah, let's see. Hopefully I can keep this. I feel like it'd be good to use in my scrapbook maybe. Okay, how do we... I can show you first. So ooh. Okay, I'll let you have a look. Okay, The Glassmaker by Tracy Chevalier? Cheval? I don't know. Okay, well, a good start has got reviews by Philip Pullman and Elif Shafak, which are two authors that I really like. Maybe I should read you out what it says on the back. Across the lagoon lies Murano. Time flows differently here, like the glass the island's maestros spend their lives perfecting. In secret, Orsola Rosso learns to craft glass. As a woman, she must flout convention to save her family from ruin. We follow her through hundreds of years of war and plague. Hundreds of years? Interesting. I wonder if there's like a fantasy element to this then. Tragedy and triumph, love and loss. Skipping like a stone across the centuries, The Glassmaker is a virtuoso portrait of a woman, a family, and a city that are as everlasting as glass. That sounds really good. I'm excited to read it. After what I'm reading now, which I'll show you as well. So I went to a summer camp a few weeks ago. If you follow the Main Character Club on Instagram, they're amazing. I would highly recommend going to the summer camp. But we did a book swap and I picked up What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. I think that's how you say it. I got it because I'd read Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and this author had left a review, you know, on the cover of that one, so I'd heard of it. And then when I opened it, the book is for Rebecca Ross. So I thought it was interesting. I'm really enjoying it so far. I only started it this morning. Do you like my bookmark? My auntie knitted it for me. The wrong way. So yeah, I will read this one next. And I think we're just going to have a chill night in tonight. We did a really long walk, so we're going to maybe do a jigsaw. We only got about halfway through Lord of the Rings, so I think we're going to try and finish that off tonight. Which, surprisingly, I've never seen Lord of the Rings before. Blasphemy, I know. And have some pasta for dinner.
You starting with the edges.
Yeah. You could also like put colours together.
Should be the water probably.
No, I think it's this corner that goes. I don't know, they could be that way as well.
Is there anything you want me to start giving you the really black ones as well?
No.
No.
We're not in. So it's Wednesday and we're still here at the cottage in Wales. And what we got up to today, we had a bit of a later start this morning just because the weather was crazy. It was really rainy and misty and you couldn't even see very far outside, to be honest. So yeah, but it was actually kind of nice sitting in here and hearing the rain and the wind and being all cosy with my book. But yeah, about, I don't know, 11 o'clock, we decided to brave the elements and we set off for, I think it is at not Loch, we're not in Scotland, Lynn Bochwood. Basically we didn't really have a plan for today because I don't think I mentioned yesterday we had planned to do river tubing in the River Dee, but the rain, there had been so much rain that the river had like burst its banks and we couldn't do the river tubing, so we kind of had a free day today. So I kind of looked up just a list of places where it'd be good to go while swimming, and that came up and it looked really nice as like a little, I don't know, like secluded mountain lake. But yeah, we were still planning on doing it, but the drive there was insane. We only got a little car and getting through some of the floods was crazy. We probably shouldn't have attempted it. And all the rivers were so full and flowing so fast, it was actually quite scary. So we got to, it was like a National Trust car park we parked in, and we chose a different walk from there. And it ended up being so beautiful. I'll put some clips in before this so you'll have seen, but just all the waterfalls were so full. It was beautiful. We kind of took the wrong path at one point though, so we went up a hill, and if we kept going we would have got to the top of another hill, which if it'd been a nicer day we probably would have done that, but it just felt like, you'll have seen on the clips I put before this, the wind and the rain. The wind was so strong that the rain felt like it was like little, I don't know, needles going into my face. It was insane. So yeah, we didn't continue up to the top of that hill, but we went back down and around the lake and it was gorgeous. And yeah, I just felt so inspired by the scenery, and you know, it made me think something I kind of want to start doing more is like, you know how artists go out with like a sketchbook or their watercolours and they'll sit and they'll draw or they'll paint whatever setting is in front of them. I'd like to do that with my notebook and just kind of sit down and try and figure out how I'd describe some of the settings in front of me, and I was trying to do that a little bit in my head as I was walking, but I think it's a really good writing exercise. Because yeah, the landscape here has definitely inspired me. It's so beautiful, and yet at the start of my novel the protagonist kind of goes off on this, I wouldn't say adventure, she goes off on her own and she's very much walking to find somewhere for her to stay, and kind of that route and the way the path was laid out and all the mountains and just the waterfalls, I just found it really inspiring. So I think that was a really good day out. Yeah, and then on the way back we stopped in a town called, is it Bethglet, I believe it's pronounced. And we went to a little cafe and had some lunch, and we're completely obsessed with Welsh cakes now. They left some here for us when we arrived at the cottage, and I couldn't believe how good they are. They're like flat scones, but at this place we went for lunch, they had chocolate version of them, which to be honest they were good, but they weren't as good as the ones with the sultanas in them. Mark, my partner, he doesn't even normally like sultanas, and he said that as well. And they're just so buttery and good, and we toast them. And we went to the shop in the town afterwards, and we bought some Welsh cakes. Yay! So I plan on eating an entire packet of those tonight. And yeah, we're just gonna stay here and chill for the rest of the evening. It's still kind of, I mean, it's not raining anymore, but it's not the nicest day outside. I've just washed my hair because the wind had like completely matted it all. Yeah, cosy. We bought some more wood for the fire. We're on the second Lord of the Rings movie now. I really enjoyed the first one. I've never really been able to get through the first one until now, but I think something about being in this cottage and just the setting of it all really, I don't know, made me feel it. I think it's made for this kind of place, and the sound of the wind kind of creaking the roof and the, I don't know, tiny TV and watching it on DVD really makes a difference. I think that's something we've been saying, like when we were doing the jigsaw last night. There's a CD player and loads of CDs here, so we had the CDs on, and it's just something about physical media. I think something's lost in like streaming. So we might buy some DVDs or get them from the charity shop, who knows. And yeah, it's just been super nice to just slow down a little bit. I feel when we're on holiday, normally like very go, 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 do everything we possibly can, but this holiday we've been just taking it a little bit slower, still like doing an activity during the day, but very much chilling in like the afternoon and the evening. Like yesterday we did jigsaw, read some of our books, watched a movie, made some pasta for dinner, and we're going to do kind of the same thing tonight. We've got the second half of the pasta to have for dinner. And yeah, tomorrow actually, so I don't think I mentioned this at the start, but this trip was actually a surprise for my birthday. So I didn't know we were coming until Sunday, and we arrived on Monday. So Mark had arranged a few things for us while we're here. One of them was the river tubing, which sadly got cancelled. And tomorrow we're taking the train up Snowdon, which is exciting. We probably would have hiked it, but I think I would have needed a bit more mental preparation before doing that. So we're taking the train up tomorrow, which will be lovely. I'm very excited about it, although I think the visibility is going to be nothing. I don't know if we'll see anything, but that happens every time we do something like this, so that's nothing out of the ordinary. And I also want to buy some postcards tomorrow, so I want to send one to my mum and dad and some friends I made at the camp I was telling about yesterday. So hopefully they'll have some nice, maybe Snowdon themed postcards, and I can send them tomorrow.
If you look through the point set correctly, proceeding up to halfway on 12.
So windy, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me very well. It's having a little sit down. So windy. At the sea. We've had a lovely day. We've been up Snowdon on the train, which was amazing. Although it was really rainy and cold and cloudy, we didn't really get a view. But taking the train up was cool. Also on the way down we did get stuck. For a little bit because of the wind, which was a bit scary, but it was fine. And I got to post some postcards for my friends and my parents from the top. And then we explored the little village at the bottom of Snowdon and had some lunch. And now we're at this beach. I have no idea what it's called. I If I remember, I'll put it on the screen. But it's lovely. I'm actually just watching. There's some people in the sea, and you'll probably be able to hear how mental the waves are. I kind of did want to go for a swim, but I think the waves are a bit too crazy for me. But yeah, that's how today's going so far. We go home tomorrow, sadly. Tonight's our last night in the Cosy Cottage. I look like Hagrid right now. I'm gonna go because it's really windy. I'll speak to you later.